All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Publish Now webinar. I'll be multitasking. Tom is not going to be joining us this evening, so which means just good news. I guess he trusts me at this point, or one of you's one of his spies. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll have a good time. And originally, I was going to fill this time up with booking your speaking engagements, as we have the rest of the Publish Now webinars scheduled throughout the remainder of the year. With the holidays coming up, we get a little bit more condensed in our schedule. Everyone gets more busy, and the last thing we need is more stress and overwhelm in our life. We need to have fun and playful activities going forward. And sorry, I get a little distracted as I continue to do other things. But so many of you were asking about Denise's program and the Amazon bestseller. And as I said, we've just had a lot of recent Amazon bestsellers out there, and the new trend with Lisa being our most recent one. She launched today with her Stunt Girls Tattletales book and actually reached #1 last night, but I'm going to let Denise share more about that. So Denise will present the program, let you know a little bit about what that's all about, how she works with you as the authors, and helps build your platform and reach. One of the fun facts about Denise is she lives in the same mountain community, and I've yet to meet her in person. Tom has 3 people on his team that work or that live in Conifer, Colorado, which is about 10,000 people. And you'd be hard pressed to find a corporation in Denver that had 3 people from Conifer working for it. So for some reason, there's some sort of ley line activity or something in this area that pulls people to Tom's work. And I know a lot of you are in this area as well, so you're in that field. But yeah, it's exciting. And I wanted to give you just a couple housekeeping notes. Next week, we're going to have Dusty Meehan on, and she'll be discussing blogs. Dusty's the one who has helped Tom revamp his website. And I hope you've all taken a look at that and like it as much as I do. We are heading in the direction of being completely, that's the first step in getting us all online, where, you know, instead of emailing going, hey, how's my project going? You can go into your profile with your own unique login and password and find out for yourself. Yay. Not that I don't like to hear from all of you, but, you know, look at the numbers here. I'm a bit outnumbered here. So as much as I'd love to have one-on-ones with all of you all the time, group energy is a lot more efficient. We get things taken care of that way. And in addition, we also have Tom. He'll be, after Dusty does her blogs, she's also going to share on social media and expanding your reach in that area. And Tom's going to wrap up the year with planning for 2017. Who would have thought we were planning for 2017 already, right? That's crazy. But here we are. And other things, Steve will not be available tomorrow. If you're sending emails, you'll probably get an auto response from him. And I am not going to be available on Monday because I'm going to go celebrate my anniversary Sunday evening with my husband, and he's whisking me away because he wants me all to himself. So I'm taking Halloween off as well. So I hope you have a spooktacular time. We do not have any of the ADP groups on Monday evening either. And also, just so if you're in those Monday evening ADP groups, we don't have any on November 7th. We won't have a session either. That's Tom's birthday. So be sure to send him a little happy birthday greeting if you care to. But otherwise, we won't be meeting that evening as well. All right. So Denise, I'm going to...
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
I can't get my video to go on. It keeps giving me video won't start. But I can do my share screen, so that'll work.
All right. Well, wonderful. Well, I'm going to continue to promote people to panelists so they can see you. You can share your screen. And, you know, once you're all done presenting, we'll open it up to a Q&A at that point. So thank you, Denise, and take it away.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. And take it
ready for you
too. We got chimes going?
Yeah, that's my mindfulness bells, wondering what I'm paying attention to right now. So it must be good. I'm going to mute myself now. It's all yours.
Okay. Okay, guys. What I do is help all of you get to bestseller status on Amazon. And that entails kind of, I have about a three-section program. Social media training is a big part of it. Amazon coaching is another part of it. And the landing page goes with our 6-day blitz. We do a 6-day promotion, and I'll go into that more specifically. But then I help you with ongoing promotion, and I'm free to you forever after for ongoing consultation. So should you reach a point where you say, oh gosh, I really need help, maybe I can call Denise, feel free to you ever after. On social media, we spend quite a bit of time on Twitter. And the reason is Twitter is very business friendly. It encourages business. It gives you analytics. There are a lot of support systems that help you with Twitter. I'm going to buzz over to Twitter real quick. And just kind of give you an overview. I don't know if many of you are on Twitter. I have 15 accounts. This is my biggest account. I have 25,000 followers. I'm growing my accounts all the time. But the key with Twitter is it allows you to target your audience. So you can use this search box to find, if you're a novelist, then you're going to look for love to read. Hashtags are simply a tracking device. So if you put in hashtag love to read, you're going to find everybody that loves to read that has mentioned that in a tweet. And, here's, people calling all Muslims. These people are trying to focus on whatever, who knows. But if I clicked on that, I would get nothing but activity about Muslims. So if you're a spiritual author, you can use spirituality as your hashtag. And you can find people doing nothing but spirituality stuff. And those are the people you follow. They follow you back. Now you're growing a following of people that are interested in what you're talking about. They don't care how big you build this, obviously. You got to start out a little bit slow. They have what's trending. And then after they figure you out because of what you've searched for, they give you who to follow. And they give you a great big list of who to follow. They haven't figured me out because I'm always following a million different things. But if they figure you out and they deliver to you in this list only things that you're interested in, well, guess what? You're going to be able to follow really quickly and easily and grow your account. When you grow your account, when you follow people, they follow you back. You'll get notifications up here. 35 others followed you. So you can look at who they are. If there's a little check mark there, they're following you. If they only have like that, they're probably not doing anything. They have no header, they have no profile, forget them. If you wanted to follow them and you aren't, they'll have a plus sign there. So Twitter makes it really easy for you to get in here, dig in. What I usually do with you guys is start you out with a little primer, not much, whole lot more than we just did. Maybe create an account, build you a header, make it look pretty, put in your profile. And then I say, follow 20 targeted people a day, 5 times a day, 20 people. You're waiting for someone to show up for lunch, follow 20 people. Before you shut your computer down at night, follow 20 people. For those of you that think you're interested in really promoting your book, I would suggest you start a Twitter account now and start following people. If you do nothing but that, you're ahead of the game. So Twitter is a real big one, and we usually spend, 3-4 weeks. We meet once a week for an hour, and we often spend 3 or 4 weeks talking about Twitter. Facebook is good, but Facebook, they went public. They needed to figure out a way to make money. So they started charging for everything. This is my bestseller services page. The reason I'm showing you this is there's some cool things you can do. You can bring your Twitter account in. It opens as a separate page, kind of like a website, and then it'll load in a minute. It shows your tweets, and people can follow you from here. Right now, I'm tweeting for my authors. I'm posting for my authors. And I haven't got Lisa up here yet today, and then there's an author app. I have a little book. It's very outdated, but it's a good example of what you can do. You can have people are able to buy your book right off of Facebook through Amazon. So you're able to create an author profile. You can bring your book in here, and you can buy right from here. So I'll help you guys set all these things up. If you have YouTube videos, you can bring your channel in and have people will be able to look at the videos. If you're doing, if you do regular videos for your business or for marketing, you can have them display on your page. So Facebook's good, but it's hard to grow your account because they want to charge you for everything. So I really think Twitter is about the best social media for growing a following and promoting your book. You'll have a website. Website is good, but you have to draw people to it. So you have to have something of value to get them over there, opt into your mailing list, and download something of value that you've given them. So you can use your website. You'll have your book on there. You'll be able to buy your book from it, and you can promote from your website as well. On Amazon, you can, I'm going to take you over to one of Tom's books. We launched Tom's book, this book from Tom a year ago. You can put a lot of material on the page. They show you customers who bought yours, also bought others. All of these with these bestseller badges are ones from Tom, from your group, from Publish Now. So these are all people that have gotten #1 bestsellers. And there's quite a lot of them. And then you get into categories. We will look for categories. We want to find the smallest niche categories. Tom, we launched this book September 20th of 2015, and Tom is still in the top 20 in his category. So once you get in a high ranking, it's not very hard to stay there if you're doing any kind of promotion. Even if people just come over and click on your Amazon page, maybe they don't even buy your book, it'll help your ranking. And getting reviews helps as well. You can see your categories down at the bottom of the page. So you want to kind of, you can check, make sure you're in the correct categories at the bottom of your Kindle page, not your paperback. For some reason, they don't show it on paperback. They also let you gift books. That helps your ranking if you give away a few books. And you can also share your book on social media. All you have to do is click. You can send an email. You can post to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I'll help you. I'll help you with anything you're interested in. I use Pinterest for my launches. It can be very beneficial. But again, if you don't have a following, what's the point? So you have to grow your Pinterest account too. Where am I? Why can't I find my page? Okay. All right. Now, we just went over the, also, let me show you, let me go back. I want to show you the author page as well. Go back to Twitter. Oops, rather Amazon. Slow internet in this little mountain community. Takes a while to load these pages. All right, now we'll look at Tom's profile. You can create a profile, your picture, all your books. If you're blogging, your blog posts will show up in here. Then it lists all your books. If people go to your profile, they can buy your book right from here. I think Tom's written a lot more books than that, but these are the main ones that are on Amazon right now. Your Kindle page and your paperback page have to be connected and filled out separately. That's something I help you with because Amazon's not very good about telling you how to do things. That's one of the biggest things I'm able to help people with because you're going to be in and out of Amazon. You're going to have problems. You're going to say, oh, my book isn't listed correctly, or I want to change my categories, or I can't get this fixed. Amazon has wonderful support, and I'll help you, figure out how to use it, what they'll do for you, and how all those things. We'll choose categories together. Then we'll create social media content. I'll help you with a Twitter header, a Facebook header. We'll write 50 tweets. I'll introduce you to Twitter support websites that make you more efficient, more effective, and spend less time on your Twitter account, but you'll gain many more followers, and you'll gain really good followers. And what that means is you want people that have big accounts to be your friend on Twitter, because if you retweet them, it's like liking or sharing on Facebook. You like them, you share their stuff, they start sharing yours. You might only have 1,000 followers, but if you've got guys that have 30, 40, 50,000 followers and they like you and they retweet you, you've just reached their following. That's the power of Twitter. That's why it's so good. We'll create a dozen images. These are some I've done for recent launches. This is Lisa. This was Linda Curry. And this was Kathy Zip, one of her images. So we'll do a dozen images. They'll all be different. We'll make a mix of them. Well, we'll have some kind of a headline that kind of explains your book. Your title is clear. We're not worried about the title. We want them to get a better idea what this book is about. So we'll create that. We'll do all your Facebook stuff. And when we get past this, we're going to get real close to getting ready to launch. When your book is published, your ebook goes into KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. Your paperback goes through CreateSpace. You'll learn all this stuff as you go. KDP, a lot of people ask, should I join KDP? It's optional. KDP is Amazon's way of keeping you exclusive to Amazon with your ebook for 90 days. It's self-renewing. So if you opt to get into KDP Select, you're able to do free book promotions 5 days of any 90-day period. They also have a thing called Kindle Countdown. I don't see why it's effective. It's like, buy my book today at 99 cents. It's going up to $1.99 tomorrow. And then tomorrow, buy my book today. It's only $1.99. It's going to $2.99 tomorrow. I don't find that particularly effective. But there are a lot of other things. Goodreads has a giveaway program. Amazon actually has a secondary giveaway thing. You have to pay, though. Your ebook is free. You can give away any product on Amazon. And you can, you have to pay for it. You can say, I'll give 10 lava lamps. And people enter a contest. When that contest ends, Amazon ships them and charges your account. You can do it with your book. You know, there's a lot of different places. Smashwords, that's another place that does book giveaways. You can download the book for an ebook for free. We'll talk about all those things and we'll look at them together. Some you're going to want to do, some you don't. Some sites have valuable stuff you have to pay for, some don't. It's all free, but we'll look at all of them together. Then I create a landing page. And the reason I do this is a lot of people say, well, I have a website. Well, yeah, but your website has lots of places to get lost. You might have blogging. So people click over, read your blog, they forget about your book. You have your social media buttons. They click, oh, Facebook. Pretty soon they're in Pretty soon they're in Facebook and they forgot all about your book. Here's a sample. Why does this keep happening? Here's a sample of some of the landing pages I've done. And I leave them up indefinitely, and you can use them for further promotion. This is for Lisa. Try to make them hot looking, attractive, compelling. She's got a video on here. We have nothing but Amazon buy buttons. We have your reviews. She has the extra images. We have more about the book. We have, oh, I got to fix that. We have about the author. So we have, you know, I try to make these really attractive so people want to linger, hang around and find out more about the book. This was Kathy Zipp's Midlife with Style. Put in reviews, what the book's about, a little bit more excerpts from the book. I just fixed that. So this is an easy way to promote the book without extraneous stuff that distracts people. This is Linda Curry's page. So a little slow to load, my little mountain community. More reviews about Linda. She's got 2 other books. We promote those as well. And, you know, I helped Linda do some work to get her her business promoted on Twitter. So I'm willing to help you with just about anything. Once you get an Amazon bestseller, people say, well, how does Amazon recognize you? Well, they don't do much. You get, sometimes you'll get an Amazon #1 bestseller ribbon. It's a little small ribbon next to your title. Sometimes you get #1 new release, but not always. It's very unpredictable. So I have badges that I put on your book cover. You cannot print your book with Amazon's name on it, but you can use a different kind of sticker and have bestseller on it. But you have to kind of make that known. We can put it on Amazon together. You can put it on your website. You can spread the word on social media. We can put it up on your header and, you know, put this badge up on your Facebook and Twitter and anything else you've got on your header, on your website. So we make a big splash ourselves, but Amazon isn't particularly interested. They do show your ranking in your product details on your book page. That's where we capture the screenshot that shows you're #1. So I do all that and I send you some nice stuff that you can keep and use and print and save and, to prove that you achieved that. People say, why do I want to do this? Well, number one, imagine yourself, you're at a Christmas party. Somebody says, oh, hey, what have you been doing? Oh, I wrote a book. Oh, yeah, what's it about? Oh, it's a self-help book. Really? Yeah, it was number one on Amazon. Really? All of a sudden, you've got admiration and respect. People are now interested in that book. They might even buy that book. It's the prestige and it's the self-esteem that comes with success. Let me tell you right now, these launches don't sell a lot of books. This is not New York Times bestseller stuff. Many people don't even sell 50 books. A lot of it is positioning, timing, categories, different things we do that make it all come together at one point. Now you're going to say, well, what good is that? Well, a lot of people use their bestseller status to generate interest in future books. They use it as expert status, gives them credibility and influence, gives them speaking engagements, maybe interviews. A lot of people do this with a business book because they want to be an expert in their field. They want to grow their business. Maybe they want to do telesummits, online workshops. Maybe they want to do corporate work, speak to conventions and conferences and things like that. So walking in the door of a CEO's office with a number one bestseller under your arm is far more impressive than, hi, I wrote a book and I think I should be your keynote speaker. It helps you a lot and it helps your self-esteem. A lot of people, they just believe passionately about something. They want to share the word, whatever their word is. I just want to help people. That's a great reason. But a lot of people create a Blog Talk Radio show too. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. But, I'm thinking about, I have an author who's amazing, and he's doing all kinds of products. He's got children's books. And I started thinking, why don't I do t-shirts that say number one best-selling author? Or mugs, or calendars, or who knows? There's a lot of things you can do and sell. If you have a children's book with a cute cover, you can sell that. Midlife with style. It's kind of a cool, catchy phrase. You can sell those t-shirts. So that's a concept that you should think about because there are ways to make a little bit extra income by offering these different products. Blog Talk Radio is an interesting thing. Anybody can start a radio show for no cost. And there are tons of them on here. The key again, getting people to listen. But if you get good guests, they got all these different shows. If you get good guests and you promote it on your now big fat Twitter account, you're going to get listeners. If you get listeners, you might get clients, if that's your goal. If your goal is to just expose information to people, then, it's not about selling so much as educating. There's all these shows on Blog Talk Radio. So that's another option for you too. I'm working with Tom and a couple other publishers. I have a very full schedule, and I'm booking now into really almost February. I've got a few odd dates in there. It usually takes us 3 or 4 months to work through the program, and I will even stretch it out longer if need be. I've worked with some people 6 months, 9 months. Just depends on what's happening with your book, what's happening in your life. Sometimes people get stalled. They got to do other things. They come back. But after we do the program, as I said, free consultation forever. And I put you in my loop of who I give my information to. I get a lot of good stuff coming across my screen. And whenever I see something I think really might help you guys, I share it by email. I also put it on my Facebook page most of the time. But so, you know, it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term relationship. We work on Zoom or Skype for an hour a week. But we have a lot of fun. We talk, you know, some of this stuff is mindless. You know, we're creating those images while we're doing it, we're also talking about life in general. So we become really good friends and we have a lot of fun. But that is the program in a nutshell. And if any of you guys have questions, I would love to answer them. Oh, I guess I'll minimize this.
Thank you, Denise, for that. And all of you know, hopefully by now, how to unmute yourself if you do have any questions for Denise, although I feel it was very informative. And you're also welcome, if you are interested in taking advantage of Denise's offer for a free consultation, feel free to put that into the chat and I'll capture a list and make sure Denise reaches out to anyone who is interested, or you can also email me at Sabrina@TomByrne. And let's see, how's that going, Denise?
Well, I don't know. Why I can't get back to the meeting.
Okay, if you go to share screen, let's see. I'm gonna.
Am I gonna share?
I'm going to share mine momentarily, I guess, to
get
rid of.
Okay, good. I'm good. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
I find ways to take control.
I have a question.
I'm muted, so go ahead.
Hi.
Hi. Are you talking to me to go ahead?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Kathy.
Hey. Hi, Denise. It's good to hear you even a second time around.
I'm glad you've been here before.
Kind of reinforce some of that information. I have a question. When you were talking about the Facebook page and putting YouTube videos on it, as far as I know, any videos that are on a page rather than as opposed to the personal wall, but if it's on a business page, they are charged. They charge for that.
Who does?
So YouTube, including YouTube videos.
Well, there's an app, and the app doesn't seem to require that.
An app?
Yeah.
To get the YouTube videos on. Go
to Google and put in YouTube app for Facebook. Be on your Facebook, be logged into Facebook and be on your page when you do it.
Uh-huh.
And then the app will come on to your page. Sometimes you have to go from your personal page back to your business page, your author page, but because they kind of send you back to start over. So if you don't see it, go back to your author page. Then there's, I think it's application settings at the top of the YouTube section. Because what's going to happen is it's going to bring YouTube in general into your app. You then have to go get it's a number at the end of your URL on your YouTube page. Get that number, put it in that application setting, and it'll bring your videos in. Then you can select a specific video you want to be your main one. You know, it'll be at that top.
Sure.
Your others will be below.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. If you have any trouble, email me. I'll help you.
Okay.
Hi, Denise. It's Lori.
Hi.
Hi. I haven't seen you for a while. My bad. Question for you.
I just was looking at your name on my calendar today.
Yeah, I went radio silent for a while. I was traveling and on break. Anyway, I'm curious about Pinterest. I haven't used it, and I'm curious, could you show us maybe an example, if you have one, of how an author might have used Pinterest? That's a complete unknown to me, because for me it's all pictures.
I'm not crazy. You know, you have a business. If you find, let me show you a couple of things. Almost everything on the internet has a Pinterest button. Oh, I'm not sharing, am I? I better share. Let me do that. Okay. Almost if you have a Pinterest account and you're logged into it, almost every picture on the internet has a Pinterest button. If you click that, hopefully it's going to go there. I think it is. You can pin it to a board. You have to create an account. You have to create boards. So if your book is about happiness, then you might, every time you're on a website and you see a picture that's joyous, you're going to pin it. I can save it to Books Worth Reading, bestsellers, or I can create a board.
Okay.
Right, so I can save this to bestsellers we've launched. Right, now that's going to go on my Pinterest board. So as you go around the internet and find things that seem applicable to your story, what you were conveying, what you're promoting, you can just pin it via one of these buttons to your Pinterest page.
Cool. Thank you. That helps.
I use Pinterest. I use a thing called Viral Tag, and it allows me to upload a cover, clone it. I clone it like 70 times. And then I schedule it to go out every 2 hours during my launches. It's free, and you could have ongoing promotion with that. You might not want to pin it. You might, for you guys, you might not want it to go out more than once every few days or something. But I'm doing a big e-blitz, So I do it a lot more. But it's a tool, but I don't think it's the most valuable tool.
Okay, thank you.
Pinterest draws a lot of people. Pinterest is good because if you guys aren't on it, just start an account for no other reason than to see the amazingly beautiful things on Pinterest. I'm gonna share my screen and show you that. Am I sharing? No. Denise?
No, I thought you were done. Sorry, I took that.
Oh, okay. Let me just show you Pinterest really fast for those of you who maybe haven't been on there. I like it. I use it because you can get lost there for hours. Pinterest has nothing but beautiful stuff. Amazing looking food, gorgeous fashion, travel, animals, kittens, everything you can imagine. And it'll keep you there for hours if you've got nothing else to do. Let's see, okay, here they go. All right, so you can just stay here and look at yummy stuff and pretty stuff. Slow to load because I got everything going here, but so if my book's in here and people are hanging around, great, because people go slow. Here's a guy, he's promoting his book. Here's another book. So you can see, you could spend a lot of time here, and if your book's here, it's probably going to be helpful. Another book. So don't hesitate to jump in, start a Twitter account, but again, you got to grow it. You got to get people looking at your board or it's pointless. You can take it back if you want.
Hi, Denise. This is Katie.
Hi.
Hi. So I have a question. So
Mhm.
how come you don't have LinkedIn in here, especially if I get a lot of business off of it?
LinkedIn if you have a good LinkedIn account,
Mhm.
you can use it to promote your book. But you know what LinkedIn is like. They're not that receptive to slamming them with stuff.
Right.
You know, you got to be very careful what you put up. They're going to boo you if you're constantly promoting yourself. Twitter doesn't do that. I mean, somebody might block you, but think about it. If you've got 5,000 Twitter followers, or even 1,000, you're going to have so much stuff in your feed that, you know, people will say, how do you tweet every 15 minutes? And don't you drive people crazy? Well, think about it. You're only in there 15 minutes. You're in Facebook 15 minutes, you're in LinkedIn 15 minutes, and you're scrolling. So if you are there, okay, I'm out of here. I hope people see one of my tweets in 15 minutes. But LinkedIn's a little bit more business and a little bit less receptive to heavy promotion.
Okay. And then I have another question.
Mhm.
So I have a business website.
Uh-huh.
I have a business Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a personal Facebook page. And I have a business Twitter account. I have a business YouTube account. So I would be linking up this stuff on my Facebook business page.
Uh-huh.
And that's really where I should start promoting stuff.
Probably.
Okay.
Do you have a lot of followers on your Facebook page? Friends?
I haven't really promoted Facebook. I've been promoting more LinkedIn because I get business off of it.
Well, then use your book in there. You know, are you doing webinars? Are you doing that kind of stuff? What's your business?
No, I haven't done webinars. I have a bunch of podcasts. I have a bunch of videos.
And you put those on LinkedIn.
I need to. I haven't really promoted it.
When you create them, put them on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I have a bunch of old ones. And then I had another question. Oh, so I have a website.
Mhm.
And so you would create an additional landing page just for the book.
Correct.
And then I would have a link to that landing page on my website.
Yes.
Okay.
You could link it right to your navigation bar, you know, your homepage about, just have the book. Put
Right.
it right to the page.
Right.
If people want me to stick with their branding and make my page look like their website, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
You know, so you're not going, oh, what's that? It's more
Right.
like just another page.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have a consultation with you. I'll ask more questions.
Okay, yeah. Well, any of you guys that want to have a phone call or a Skype call or a Zoom call, I'm happy to do it and answer, you know, elaborate a little bit more or talk about your particular book and, you know, your goals. And I'll brainstorm with you all day long. I help people with their covers. Anything you need help with, I'll help you. You know, I had one of Tom Bird's people who had dictated his whole book. He never got on his computer hardly. I spent my first 2 sessions helping him understand his email. So I'll help you with anything.
Denise, this is Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. I know you and I have a meeting on Halloween at noon, and I'm really excited about what I'm hearing tonight. I'm different from some of the other authors in that first of all, I'm a fiction writer.
Uh-huh.
I don't have anything to offer as far as healing people or anything like that.
That's all right.
But I'm very new to all this new technology, and this is very new to me. But I get the feeling that you tailor your services to whatever the particular author needs. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Yes. Well, I'll be looking forward to that telephone conversation. Well, I guess we're going to go on Zoom. I'll be looking forward to that Zoom meeting on Monday.
Okay, and are you writing more than one fiction book?
It's my intention, yes.
Yeah,
because
I mean, a bestseller program, you know, it helps people get exposure to you so that future books are also going to sell. If
Great.
they read your first book, they're going to probably read your second.
Yeah. And I published a book back in '83 too, and I have tons of copies of that left. So I'm
I
hoping.
can help you with that.
Okay, that's
There's
good.
a way you can set up your book on Amazon,
Okay,
send them a shipment of books, like 40 books.
okay.
They will do fulfillment. They will ship the books for you. You'll have an Amazon page and you can unload those babies.
That's wonderful, because one of the future books I'm going to do is pertaining to the same subject, but it's going to be, of course, with my maturity since then, added into it, perhaps something that will go. But I kind of like this first book of mine because it's not controversial. Everyone's going to like it, I think. Of all the things I'm going to write in the future, this is probably the one that everyone's going to feel positive about. It won't be controversial. It'll just make everyone feel good.
Oh, good. We love those.
Yeah, so I figured this was a perfect one to really launch as a beginning for hopefully all my other endeavors for the rest of my life as an author.
Yeah, and you know, for that book that you've got the boxes of books,
Yes.
we can do some promotional slides, images like I showed you, and put those. There's a thing called Tweet Jukebox that I help you set up. And what you do is it's free. You can get a free jukebox. We create all these images. We can write tweets. And you put them in there and schedule them, and they go out however you want them to go. As often as every 3 hours, but no more than that for free.
No, that's pretty good.
So I can help you promote your old stuff and your new stuff.
Wonderful. I'm so excited about talking with you on Halloween at noon. So that's good. I'm so glad I have a chance to meet you tonight through the Zoom meeting with the other authors.
Yeah, me too. I got you on my calendar.
Thank you, Denise.
All right, Pam.
Hey, Denise.
Hey.
My name is Patty. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Patty.
I came in just a little bit late, and you may have tackled this right away when you came in, but I remember Tom saying about your program that Amazon, the way that you get to be a bestseller on Amazon is that Amazon doesn't know the difference between a click and a buy. Am I right about that?
Well, that is, to a large degree, activity on your page helps you. So,
Okay.
you know,
So
10
my
people
question-
click on your page, but only one buys. Those other 9 people are giving you a little boost.
My question is, it sort of feels like that's a little bit cheating the system, and that's not a judgment. But my question is, do you think that Amazon will somehow change that if Amazon catches on that it's being used to be promoted, to promote people as best-selling authors when their sales haven't reflected best-selling?
They are the ones that give you the label. They're the ones that say you are the #1 bestseller. So,
Okay.
yes, I've had people say, how can I don't feel good about calling myself a #1 bestseller when I only sold 40 books. Well, then my program's probably not for you. My program's a piece of your puzzle. It is another way to advance your cause, whether it's novels or your business or your message. It's just another way to get credibility, get out there, and you gain a lot of other things. You know, the social media aspect, understanding how to navigate Amazon, and understanding how to promote yourself.
Right, right. No, and I didn't mean that about your work. I
Don't
was just
worry, I'm not
about-
offended.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but it can still benefit you. And,
Oh, definitely.
I feel it's really important for me to tell people up front that probably won't sell 50 books in the program. You're not going to get a return on investment from my part of the program. But
Right.
as you put your whole plan together, that's a good piece of it.
Thank you.
I like the way you spell your name.
Thank you. Hi, Pam. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Hey, everybody else. I love seeing all you guys.
Yes, I do too. I do too. It's such a pleasure to put a name and a face together, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I wish my video would work tonight. It always works. I don't know why it's not.
Denise, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So I know you said that you were pretty far out and somewhere in February as far as appointments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still, in the early stages of putting my book together. And so I'm curious, at what point should you set that appointment? What stage? I mean, maybe that's a question for Sabrina, but after you've gone through all your edits, do you start that? Or
I would start sooner rather than later, simply because you're building your platform.
mm-hmm. So you can actually set the appointment at any time just to get that set up?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a cover for
And
you.
you start right away. It's not like I say, okay, we're launching you in February, see you in January. We'll start next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, you get more out of me if you start sooner than later, because we tend to meet every week and we just end up covering a lot of different things. And, I think when we meet every week, you're held to accountability, like, oh, I got to work on my Twitter account. Oh, I got better do this. Oh, I told her I'd have this done. No, I don't require a lot of you. You're not going to spend a lot of extra time. It's mostly what we do in the meetings, and I do most of it. But you'll learn a lot in the meetings. You'll learn, like on PowerPoint. People that have never gone into PowerPoint are suddenly, I'm making images, I'm doing this, and there's a lot of other cool things I'll show you too. There are other little sites where you can create an image. They provide the quotes, you pick a quote, you push a button, you upload it to Twitter or Facebook. There's so many great things on the internet that I'll show you.
Okay, great. So the appointments that are in February, those are for launches.
Yeah, those dates are for launches. I always start right away with anybody that signs up, but we can't do the launch till later because I'm booked up.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Denise, I have a question about Twitter. And I'm wondering if you said something about getting followers who have a large following themselves. So I'm wondering, because you said if they retweet, then whatever they retweet of mine goes to all their followers. So I'm wondering about the little @ sign. If I were to say like @ and their handle, does that also go to their followers?
Yeah, let me think about that. No, it goes to your followers, but they get a notification of it.
Okay.
So they know you're talking about them,
Yeah.
and it's going to make them be responsive to you and your stuff.
Okay.
The @ sign, like if you reply, it'll put the @ sign in so that @Christina, you'll get a notification and you'll know somebody mentioned you.
Okay. And then
And they'll say, oh, Christina mentioned me, I'll mention her.
and then you can like it and retweet it.
Exactly.
That goes to theirs and to mine?
Yes.
Okay.
They get notified and it goes into your news feed. Yeah, and any of you guys that have incidental questions, feel free to email me. I'm happy to help everybody. You know, if you say, Denise, I'm stuck on Twitter, I did this and I don't know what I'm doing, shoot me an email. I'll help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Christina. Anybody else?
All right. I don't know, Lisa, did you want to share anything real briefly about your experience?
Well, I do.
Oh, there she is, that #1 best-selling author.
Well, I've gone from my book ranking. I think has gone from 600,000 to 13,000 something, and the
Wow.
book ranking, and I think just a few more purchases tonight will really make it zoom through the roof. And I can clearly say that without Denise, I wouldn't be launching today. And I can say that she has been my anchor in helping me understand so much about the process, and the everything that she said about what one learns, what I'm able to do now in PowerPoint and stuff like that, and what I've been able to do to sort of create my videos, my book trailers and everything is really directly because of our, me watching Denise work on creating the pick boxes, which my spell check changed to pick axes. And and I do feel like Denise is one of my new best friends, and
Baby.
Yeah, and just holding my hand, because all this mirror work and everything that Tom invites us to do, really the rationale for it really becomes very clear in these final stages when one's fears really raise their pretty little heads. And Denise is the voice of calm that just says, I've got that handled, or you can do this, and what about this, and what about that. And so I think that the investment that I made in the best-selling author part was a huge gift that I gave to myself. So, and if anybody has any particular questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So.
And I didn't even pay her to say that.
No. I'm very, very honored and thrilled to have been working with someone with such expertise.
Well, thank you very much.
And care. So, thank you.
Well, when we had to do kind of a rush job on you because we rethought the whole thing, did your first book, we were going to do one book, then we decided to do the other, and it was kind of a slam bam, thank you, ma'am, and we got it done. But you were great because you were so hands-on, and you took the lead on a lot of stuff. And that is helpful too, because number one, you learn, and number two, you are empowered.
Absolutely.
It all makes it happen better and more easily. And then you're not just in the dark going, what do I do now? Or what's going to happen? You're in it. You're doing it. You're working it. You're using the systems. You're in Author Central. Author Central is amazing as far as support. You can get them to call you. They call you in 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. They help you while you're on the phone with them. They're awesome. And it's an arm of Amazon.
And I wouldn't have had any idea about that without your guidance.
Yeah. And most authors don't. That is the really sad truth. Amazon is not they have a lot of great things, but they're not very good at telling you about them.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we can put a badge on your next book that says #1 best-selling author.
Yes. And I hope you have me down for one of those February launch dates.
Well, if I don't, we better set it up.
And I'm going to have my formatting done really early this time.
Well, and that's another thing that you learn, you go through it once, you know the game plan.
Yes.
But the main thing that I try to tell all of the authors I work with is get your, and I know Sabrina does too, get your book as tight, as clean, as perfect as you can get it. Get all the components in it before you ever go to editing, because the editing process is brutal. If you have, a lot of authors don't realize it and they think, oh, the editors are going to catch all those errors. Well, guess what? They don't. You have to catch them, and you have to put them in a form. So you have to say, page 5, paragraph 4, line 3.
Yes. Every single line. Yeah.
Well, all right then. If there is, does anyone else have any questions? And thank you, Lisa, for sharing, and congratulations again. So if there are no more questions, again, I have a couple people listed. Kate, I can introduce you anytime and get you started. You've already signed up for the program, right? Yes. Okay, going from memory. And Katie and Susan, I have you on the list. So if there's anyone else, you can put it in the chat or email me at Sabrina@TomBird, and I'll get the introduction set up.
He said,
what was that, Denise? Okay, I guess she left us now. Okay, looks like, nope, she's coming back.
yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's probably my little mountain community.
Maybe if I stop sharing my video to give you more bandwidth.
Yeah, maybe. You're just up the road, aren't you? You're stealing my bandwidth, Sabrina.
Okay, I'll stop. Okay, go.
So anybody else have any questions? Or I see David's on here, or was.
Yes, he is. And I have Carol and Patty who are interested. And we'll set up I got to write this down. Again, the introduction. And it's $3,200 for the Amazon bestseller program with Denise when you sign up outside of the retreat. And some of you have already signed up during the retreat. So always just send me when you're ready to go. Let me know, and I'll make sure that you and Denise start working together.
If you guys have anyone who's already signed up, get with me. Let's get going. The sooner you start building your Twitter account, growing your platform, the better. And Lori, you better be growing that Twitter account.
I've been bad.
Get in there and work on it.
I will.
You won't be sorry.
Thank you.
Judith. Is that Judith Finneran? Hey, darling, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm not hearing you for some reason. Got your mic on?
I don't know, I unmuted you, Judith, but we still can't hear you.
Well, anyway, we have a lot of fun, and it is a productive program. And I don't think any of you, if you choose to do it, will be sorry, because you learn a lot about the business, and you learn a lot about promoting yourself, promoting your book. You'll feel like, everybody feels like, I hate promoting myself. Well, we'll show you ways to promote yourself that doesn't feel weird. You know, good, beautiful things that go out and keep your book in front of people. Is anyone hearing me?
We are hearing you, Denise, and I think they're all just muted and they're behaving themselves because they know
Okay, good.
I'll mute them if they get out of line. It's my false sense of power at this moment.
Right.
That would be handy in the debates, don't you think? Had the moderator had the ability to just mute?
Yes.
Love that power.
The sound of silence, right?
Little crickets.
Exactly. All right, Denise, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And
I really
we'll be in
appreciate
touch. Get all these other launches underway soon.
All right, sounds good to me. Love you guys. Great to see you. Great to meet you. And I'm happy to help any of you with anything, even if you don't use my program.
Thank you.
So feel free to reach out.
Yes, Denise is always very helpful. She's a wonderful resource. And we have a few more minutes before the end of this officially. So I do want to touch base very quickly on some things about booking your speaking engagement. I do.
Okay, I'm going to check out. Love you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Denise. Take care. Now, I do plan on revisiting this in 2017 when we start the Publish Now group webinars again. I posted earlier in the chat room the upcoming Publish Now group webinars we have scheduled. And again, next week, we'll have Dusty Meehan starting to talk about blogs. And many of you have been writing your blogs. So she's going to help you understand how to get subscribers to your blogs and maybe monetize your blog and have it featured in different places to really expand your platform and your reach. So that should be a lot of fun. And then she'll talk about social media a couple weeks later after the November retreat. And then Tom will wrap up, I think around the 7th. I don't remember the date now. Might be the 5th of December on preparing for 2017 as an author. So speaking engagements, that's actually how I met Tom. Tom contracted with me a little over a year ago to book his speaking engagements, basically to see about expanding his reach from his keynote speech he gave to Unity ministers and looking at moving his retreats in other locations outside of Sedona. And that was, quite challenging in many ways. Booking speaking engagements can be very challenging. It can tell you it can be very difficult to afford somebody to book your speaking engagements for you. There are different ways that you can do that. You can belong to a bureau, a speaker's bureau, and be listed amongst many. And you can get engagements through that. There are different ones to consider, different associations. Women's Speakers Association or National Speakers Association is our common association speakers belong to that can have, some associated dues, pretty minimal. And again, it's just like what Denise was telling you about your social media. You basically get what you invest in anything. If you think you're just going to post a little bio and headshot and your author book and post it somewhere and people are going to call you, your phone's and offer you $10,000 checks to come and speak on their stage, then I want to know what you're smoking because I want to have that experience as well. I have yet to see that happen. Again, Tom says it all the time, there's no such thing as an overnight success. There's a lot of groundwork that took place before that actually comes to fruition. So the best place to plant some seeds is in your own local garden and look around the area because you don't want to really be investing your personal money in flights and hotels and expenses with travel if you're not getting paid the $10,000 engagements. So start planting the grassroots effort around your own local community and building the awareness around you in your community. They say celebrities are often unknown in their own neighborhood, because they're just going to the grocery store like everybody else. So if you have a powerful message, your community probably doesn't really know that because they see you as a mom or a father or knows you by your company that you're currently associated with and not necessarily an author. So it does take a little bit of effort to reprogram the people around you, but also they're going to be your biggest allies in helping you to engage. There's an author up here on my bookshelf. She landed a publishing contract for her book based on living room tours. She works with archangels and helps people know how to do that. So if that's something you want, if you have a message and a practice that you want to share with others and show them how to do it, sometimes those living room little tours can be very beneficial, where people are hosting you in their community and introducing you to their friends and family members. And stage trade is one of the really big things to consider. So what I recommend doing before we look at the 2017 speaking engagements, there's a little homework I'm going to assign, like what Tom did back with booking your interviews with local media. I want you to do some research. I want you to go to Meetup, check out Meetup groups that are in your genre, your categories. Look where they're located, how often they meet. Now, you might be saying, how can I do a stage trade if I don't have a stage? Well, library is a stage. Look at places where you can host an event at a very affordable price with minimal investment, if not free. Somebody's living room or at the library is an excellent way of doing that in your own community. You create your own meetup group based on your message and invite people from other meetup groups that have those similar categories in which they're interested. Invite them to your meetup group. Invite people to come speak to your meetup group, and then you speak to their meetup group. That's how you offer like a stage trade. Then, you can look at some of your local chamber of commerce or networking associations. If you have, like Lisa, for example, with her theater and acting background, she could look at an association of actors and look at introducing her work to those different guilds that are out there in different communities, community theaters even. There's unlimited resources, and you never know who you're going to connect with that has those other connections and knows where to help place you for your speaking engagements. You may not want to necessarily have to be limited to somebody else's idea of what your engagement would be like. So you host your own, and you look at hosting a workshop or a retreat, which can be done in person or virtually. Then there's the book signings. So taking a list of all your local bookstores and Barnes and Noble locations, have those down for when your book releases. You want to be able to host and have those book signings in your community. Now, oftentimes as a self-published author, and especially for smaller bookstores in your community, they will look to you to bring the book supply stock, because a lot of them do not have the overhead to invest in an inventory. So that's where you want to also be prepared, is that, you bring it, then you have a split of the sales with those book sales with the venue, and that's like your rental fee, so to speak. But they have a built-in audience. Anyone that you contract with on speaking engagements, you want to be sure that they have a list that they're marketing to, that your engagement's going to be listed on their website, on their social media pages, that they're going to have some skin in the game and help promote that, because you really want to leverage their reach in order to expand your audience. But if you think you're going to rest solely on that, that doesn't happen. These bookstores are also looking and wanting to know what your client list looks like, what your social media reach looks like, because you are also responsible for promoting that event as well to help fill the seats. And so you want to look at your speaking engagements as a mutual relationship, a symbiotic relationship in which you're bringing something new to their audience and something of value to their audience, and their audience is then bringing something of value to you. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely not going, and it looks like Judith might be saying something, and I'm not sure if it's to me or not, but you are muted, maybe somebody else. It is one of those things that, yes, you will definitely need to promote to your list as well. So this, again, what Denise is saying, and somebody was asking me in the chat, when should I start working? She works with authors 5 to 6 months prior to the launch, but you don't necessarily want to wait until that time frame. The earlier you can start, the better. Dusty will tell you the same thing. You can't start building your platform early enough. If you were to go to a traditional publisher and want your book published, propose your book be published to them. They don't even want to see your manuscript. They want to see a book proposal. That book proposal consists of your bio and your platform. And those are the two main things they look at. They might get around to checking out your sample chapters and the outline of your book and the proposed reach, but they're going to look at that platform first and the numbers of people you have in your email list, which you can capture from a landing page on your website, or the number of people on Facebook and not only your personal timeline, but especially if you have an author Facebook page, how many fans you have, your Twitter account, how many followers you have. And they'll even look at Instagram, which is becoming an even more, you now have the option of, and I'm more dialed into Instagram because my kids are in their, teens and 20s. And if I want to have a relationship with them, sometimes I need to have that as my source. And Instagram now has the option, that's just something I've seen, I've been invited to convert my Instagram to a business page. So Instagram is now becoming more known in the realm. My daughter has built her entire business at repeat clients on Instagram. So don't discredit how you can use Instagram to leverage your book and your book sales and your speaking engagements. Let people know the services that you offer. You can have videos out there as well. Do that through Facebook Live and do that through Instagram. Create that little video reach, little vlogs that talk about, share a little tidbit of information from your book, a little teaser that gets them to wanting more, and then have the link to your book. So there's all sorts of ways that you can capitalize on social media and expand your speaking engagement reach at the same time. Now, I have no idea if I'm making any sense at this point. Let me look. I wrote up a few notes. Okay. So, and academia. Again, I go back, if you have, even I'm thinking with Pam, where you say, Pam, I'm writing a book about fiction, but you do have a book that is about relationships and it gives people hope. So that you could go to a church and actually share that message. So coordinate with people in that way. There's no limit to it. And with academic institutions, if, Lisa is a teacher at heart with her work, she could definitely go into acting schools and bring her message to them. And then as well as, I think of in Colorado here in the Denver area, we have what's known as Colorado Free University, which you, as a teacher, like I think of Karen, if you wanted to go in and teach people tapping, you can submit a proposal to them. They have a really big reach as far as the people that receive their catalog and have these classes. And, Colorado Free University can be a little misleading. Yes, the classes cost something, but it's very minimal in comparison to what, universities will charge. And they look at something new and inviting and different. And so look at those different ways in which you could go to a school, even a high school, and share your message, or, depending on your message, middle school, whatever it is. Academic institutions can be a really good wealth of resources for you. Katie's asking a question. So, any platforms to speak that are virtual or national exposure or global exposure? Not off the top of my head, but, I think of different ones. When you're looking at virtual, and honestly, even corporations are moving more into that realm where Katie, I know you do a lot of executive coaching. Gone are the days where they have you show up at a ballroom at a hotel with commanding a speaking fee. They want that virtual training. So you can look at Udemy, which is an online resource to create your own videos and reach out to people. A lot of people are working with software and app developers in order to do something on their own. But Udemy, UDEMY, is one of the bigger ones in which you can set up your own platform and be there. There are so many things that are happening right now. It's how do I say it, like a direct sales is opening up with educational teachers coming in and building platforms on that. So I don't really have any I can recommend, but I know that there are resources out there available. I just haven't personally worked with any of them to be able to, recommend at that level. But there's really no limit to it. Again, there is a woman on Facebook, I'm sorry, her name eludes me, but she created a Facebook page called OWL, One Wise Life. And she went on this page and basically, to my understanding, does little daily vlogs, really quick messages. Again, you have to have quick messages. If I were to do it, I would be doing 15-minute vlogs and I'd lose my audience because nobody has 15 minutes. You need to look at doing under 3-minute little trailers and teasers and information. But she would go on Facebook Live, share this information. It would get shared. It would go virtual. And she's generating somewhere around, I want to say 30,000 new likes a day or a week. It's something insane. That she is building a huge following. And Denise is absolutely right. Facebook has transitioned to a pay for play type things. But they also always focus on what's trending. And so if that many people are showing up for what her message and sharing that, it gets into other people's news feeds on their timeline. They see that. That doesn't go unnoticed. And that happens from virtual share versus, paid posting. So there are all, if you have that trend, and that's what Tom talks about, that New York Times bestselling authors are capitalizing on a trend. I mean, OWL, I love owls. Of course, they're wise, they're teachers. How did she come up with the acronym One Wise Life? Very profound, and she moved on it and capitalized it. And I know all of you have some very similar messages in that regard as well, that can be very quick and catchy. And once you start to activate the energy behind it, it does start to grow more followers, more expansion. Kathy is sharing that Carrera, I'm not sure if I said that right, has university level classes online that people can sign up for. So yes, again, there's really no limit to what can happen. But what I recommend doing before we come back again in 2017, and I don't know, we will have some other webinars before that, but before we come back to speaking engagements at some point in 2017, is go ahead and generate a list of local groups in which you can share your message and present your book. So that's bookstores, meetup groups, networking groups, chambers of commerces, schools, education facilities, and even research some virtual levels if that's what speaks to you. So that'll get you to start thinking about ways. And, again, go back to that list that Tom says, the people you know and who they know. This can help you with those speaking engagements, especially if you're looking at doing any kind of like in-home type living room. I mean, there are people that have started big messages and movements behind that, sitting in a family room in their home, sharing it with some of their closest friends and colleagues. And that just movement continues to grow. So there's really no limit. And in my belief, there's really no small stage. If you hit one person and that one person happens to be the key to a much bigger playground, then you've done everything you need to do. So, are there any questions on that before we wrap up? Oh, you all feel sorry for me. I appreciate that. So, okay, I will be covering Steve's emails tomorrow. So any files that come in, I will process and forward accordingly, and also get back to the formatting team as necessary. And then Monday, I'll be AWOL, going off to play with my husband. So hope you all have a fabulous weekend and a wonderful Halloween, and celebrate all your successes, and love you all, and take care.
Bye, Sabrina. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Showing up.
Bye. Bye-bye. God bless.
Bye, Kate.
Yeah.